Hey there viewers, my name is Torinski and welcome back to another Hades run. Where we last left off here, we'd unfortunately finished in another loss, but it was a good first go at trying out the new aspect and getting our feet under us in terms of the new field to run. Messed up a little bit also with the keepsake placement, so I guess that kind of falls under that category as well. But hopefully we worked out some of the kinks of trying to get back into the flow of things and maybe even learn some changes, because we could go in with the shattered shackle, but we also managed to pick up quite a nice chunk of boons before we got to the first fight. I mean, maybe if I don't take the shattered shackle, we'll see the exact opposite happen, but might be able to eke out something else out of the options there.
You had enough to eat lately, haven't you, boy?
Definitely get some rubs in. I was hoping to talk to my father here and potentially try and talk about Sisyphus and releasing him from part of his sentence or reducing it in severity
What do
in
you
some
need
way.
exactly? Answer me something, Zagreus. What am I to you exactly, as of late? Because sometimes with you,
I'm sometimes at a loss myself, Thanatos. Though one thing I know is it's always really good running into you out there. It's, well, exciting. Sparring with you and all that. And then I know it means that I might get to see you here.
Oh, really?
well,
Wonder if that's
here
true
I am.
from a gameplay
But
perspective.
you didn't answer my question. So you know something? Forget I asked. I've got to go.
Wait.
Ooh. What are we? Or what are they, I guess? Zagreus. Whoops. Should have muted there for that throat clearing, but everything was coming out a little quiet and found out right away why. But interesting. New romance blossoming potentially. I'm always assuming everything in this game is a romance, but maybe this one is. Nothing to say, Orpheus. Okay, we'll definitely talk to Nyx.
Hypothetically, I felt that some injustice had been dealt to someone who deserved a better lot. Say that they were subjected to too harsh a punishment for all eternity. Don't I have some of my father's authority to do something about it?
Now that you have regained your access privileges to the administrative chamber, child, yes, that is the level of authority you hypothetically possess again.
But how can I possibly find anything in there? The place is wall-to-wall pacts and parchments. I have no idea where to look.
You can be made aware, though use discretion if and when you need to exercise this power, and make certain that the time is right. Now, are we understood?
Yes, we are.
What does it mean? But we'll drop off some fish. Hopefully picked up some nectar. No nectar, just some more gems. Oh well, what have we got here?
Deal you've got.
Dang, unfortunately also nothing. We're really starting to run low in a lot of departments here. Ooh, trade a bunch of gems for keys. I'll regret it at some point. But it would give us some nectar.
Extra keys.
Okay,
Sure, why not?
just like that. Guess it's kind of rough because we almost never pick up keys anymore since we have so many rerolls. So maybe a bit of a losing game there. So Nick said to use this at the right time. Does that mean now is not the right time? This is the administrative chambers, right? I tried to go in here earlier to release. Who was I trying to pardon? That's an interesting. Maybe it was to try and reunite Orpheus and Eurydice in some way. Maybe.
You
Spire?
shades hang in there.
Nope, not quite what we were looking for. And these just tell us our stats. Interesting. So time's not right now. Oh hey. Nice. Glad I started seeing Orpheus. So we unlocked Skelly's companion with nectar. So is it other people here? Achilles is not here. Sisyphus is what we're trying to work on now. Same with Eurydice. Wow, so many people are at their key locked heart level, whatever that means. Oh my gosh. You're not? We can definitely remedy that a little bit.
Stuff, don't you, boy? Well, good, because I like sneaking it over to you.
And I'm hoping that Zagreus has a companion.
Nectar is enough to briefly sate even the ferocious appetite of the Hound of Hell.
I guess I didn't even look in like Chthonic Gods. Oh, Thanatos is interesting. And Chaos is as well, but their task is pretty difficult. Olympians. Artemis is there. Doesn't say learn more by Quinson. Because I love the music. But there are only, was it like 5 or 6 companion slots in the keepsake cupboard thingamabob? And so there definitely can't be companions from all of the Olympians and all of the Chthonic Gods and some of these others of special note, right? I'm hoping Sisyphus is one. Hoping Cerberus is one. Hoping Achilles is one too, but don't know how to solve Achilles' problems at the moment, unfortunately. I guess they'll probably solve Patroclus and Achilles at the same time, or get their last key heart thing in the logbook there. But do I want to start out with something other than Shattered Shackle? It's definitely nice to have double damage at the start, but is there anything that'd be a bit more conducive? I mean, yeah, maybe trying to force boon could be nice. Okay, maybe we can try and theme a run for the first time. So with the aspect that we're using, we have increased attack damage and increased cast damage after we use our special on someone. So what kind of cast would we want? Athena's could be interesting because we could try and pull in enemies and then just shoot out a bunch of casts that will deflect any of their attacks while we do it. Could be nice. Otherwise, Ares seems like another decent one where we can pull enemies consistently into the rift even with the magnetic cutter thingy, the new special. This could also be pretty good though, so that definitely interests me. Probably one of those two. I mean, a short range bursty one. We've never really taken Poseidon's cast, so we could try and throw something really wacky in, but Poseidon or Aphrodite both have those really short ranged, but potentially high damage casts. I mean, we've had so many Poseidon runs recently, but could try it out. Take a good attack or cast, hopefully. One of the two. You know what? Let's try it, just to be a little bit different. Like, Shattered Shackle is definitely probably a nice consistent answer to a lot of these early rooms. You end up saving a lot of health in your journey to the final boss fight, I guess, even if we fill out those boon slots pretty quickly. But does this mean we get Poseidon right away? It does. I will not gift you Poseidon.
I sense you have in your possession that fine shell I sent you. A little gift plucked straight out of the sea. You keep it close so I can better track you down.
Oh, I don't like that part of it. Okay. Well, we did get the cast. I mean, the attack is what I was kind of hoping to see at a higher level. The tile dash is alright. It's definitely a nice damage boost, which you don't get for most of these dash attacks, but could, yeah, try something a little bit different. And this is kind of nice because we can pull enemies in and then knock them back. That could be kind of cool. So let's try it out. See what happens. It's high tide, baby. Okay. Should have maybe re-rolled this. Probably would have preferred to get nectar or even coins from gems, but here we are. Yeah, I guess, yeah, I don't have to use my combo every time either. Now that we've shown that proof of concept, it seems to work, at least to some degree here. I will take the health early. That's worth not re-rolling for sure. Okay, keep this buddy busy here for just a few moments, and then, oh nice, that did hit, but we did not get the amplification. Couldn't decide whether I was going to say amplified damage or amplification, or some other word, actually. What was I trying to say? But, seems like just the cast is pretty much strong enough to burst through most of these early game enemies, so maybe we should just focus on using that for now. Oh jeez, running into the wall for a little bit as I glance over at how much currency I have. You know what, I'm gonna take this. We just used up all our keys, and also just mentioned that we never take keys anymore, so let's change that up and hope that it gives us luck in the future. I don't actually know. For all I know, that the like reward generation is completely not deterministic, but I'm curious if every single thing that you make up or choice you make affects what else might show up in the future in terms of, you know, even as simple as if when you take a boon, you're likely not to get another boon for a little while, right? But, there's Zeusy Pal. You know what? I don't know why I'm thinking about this. I don't know why I'd take just the money over a boon, because most likely that money is going to go into buying a boon, and it doesn't cover even half the cost anymore, unfortunately. Alright, shouldn't even be throwing that off. I think we should just immediately toss off our cast. Especially, right, it regenerates, or it drops the bloodstone if we get the kill. That's pretty critical. But okay, Zeus, what have you got for us?
Learned about your plight and your existence from the goddess Nyx. All of us on Olympus rallied to assist you just as best we could. A family such as mine protects its own.
Also do pretty messed up things to their own, but we'll brush past that part. So, I don't think I'm going to take Lightning Strike because, yeah, it's really good for clearing all the chambers, but it kind of lets us down during boss fights for the most part. So, let's go with Lightning Reflexes. Some free damage as we attempt our best to try and dodge attacks. And yeah, save up all of our money for now, and there we go. Happy to see some Nectar. Maybe upgrade our Flood Shot. Preferably our Flood Shot, because it's already dealing a pretty hefty amount of damage. So if we can get that amplified this early, I think it will definitely pay off in the long run. Ooh, just smash through those crystals real quick, and yeah, things going fairly smoothly even without the shackle. So nice. This does last for the rest of the round, the rarity specifically. So this one should have upgraded rarity, which is pretty sweet. Definitely don't reroll that one. Okay. This was an interesting fight, but let's try and track down this buddy who's taking increased damage, and yeah, a bunch of special hits in the, or not special, but the cast hits in a row deals pretty nasty damage to these buddies. Realized there was a bomb under my feet as I was talking. Fortunately, still got hit by it, but that's just the way things are sometimes. Oh gosh, I'm messing up a bunch here and getting hit a few times, but honestly, I guess we haven't lost that much health. Oh, and
That's what you get.
hey, we do see a near miss pop up when we get those lightning strikes. Didn't notice that before. Ooh, those are really nice. Rarity. I mean, I wish that the attack got the epic level one. Interesting. Whose attack would I want? I wouldn't mind, like, even Aphrodite is pretty good because it's a pretty solid attack damage percentage, and weakening at foes is pretty useful in the long run in boss fights. But otherwise, yeah, probably Athena, or who else was I just thinking about? Oh, Demeter. That's the one. Because I always like getting her attack, because applying chilled stacks really quickly is pretty nice. So, maybe I'll just go with the dash. Go for something a little bit different than usual. I'm curious what kind of keepsake we should switch to going into the next area. Kind of getting ahead of myself a little bit, but even if worse comes to worse, I'm guessing we're not going to completely lose the run in the Fury fight. Maybe a Death Defiance or 3 if we're doing especially poorly, but hopefully not a run ender. And so I'm curious, yeah, if we should switch to maybe another Olympian's keepsake.
I'll just take that.
Try and maybe enforce one of those attacks that we were just hypothesizing about. Should definitely fish here before I make a decision on where to go, I guess. Oh, right away. Almost faked me out on that. So Chaos will probably still have the downside by the time we get to the Fury fight. You know what, I'd love to, but maybe not this run. Oh, it's really tough because getting a cast damage increase or an attack damage increase would be huge in the long run. So that's what I'm going to try and push a little bit this run, I think, is trying to get those damage to, or those attacks to really good damage potential. But yeah, another boon might be nice. God, I'm sorry, Chaos. I always visit Sisyphus. I almost always visit Chaos, but sometimes
Should come in useful.
get a little hasty and want to buy a boon here. Okay. Always take damage when the bloodstone is dislodged. So I think our aspect has some kind of effect. No, it does not have any kind of effect on the bloodstone drop rate. I think that's thinking of when we almost outfitted ourselves with the Daedalus bow. Is it the Daedalus bow? I don't think that's right either. Now I'm mixing up all my things. Daedalus's thing is the gun. Anywho, when we were taking in Coronat, that's the one. That's the ability that I'm thinking of. Oh my gosh. That confusion hit me so hard that it's still happening a full run later. But exit wounds won't be that good for us then, and instead, I think this one's going to have to be Deadly Flourish, because I don't want to get rid of the attack slot. That, unfortunately. Oh, and speaking of Sisyphus here, happy to see you, pal. Oh wait, and we have Nectar to give Boldy again, which is nice.
Hey, sir.
Because, I guess, are we becoming better friends with Boldy? Is Boldy a character? No, the underworld. No, the underworld is the place. No? Okay, hold up. Maybe after. Back up. Go back up.
This is for you, Baldy.
I mean, I'm always happy to give you a nectar regardless.
Thanks.
Hoping that someday we'll talk to each other. So, is this always... Oops. Oh, actually, no, I did open this, and it didn't immediately go to a page on Boldy. So Boldy doesn't have an increasing heart level? Oh, we got the money bonus again this time, but it's slightly more interesting.
I have to thank you, Sisyphus. Not just for all the help you've given me time after time, but for encouraging me to have a chat with Baldy there. I dare say I feel a little more at peace of late, and maybe it's thanks to him.
He's a good one, all right, isn't he? Though if you've come to such an understanding with old Baldy there, why, it must mean you've done some growing on your own as well, I think.
Oh, shucks. Thanks. Ooh, maybe I should have taken darkness. No, we should get enough darkness in this run as long as we make it to a certain
Baldy,
place.
on one hand, I know that making offerings to you won't really help me get out of here. On the other hand, maybe it will.
Does seem to be helping in some way. Large or small. Okay, here goes. Back into the thick of it. Oh my gosh. Don't even know what was happening there. Absolute chaos. Oh gosh, get out of the way. It's still just absolute chaos. These buddies. Ah, gosh. I don't know why I'm making the same mistake over and over again, just walking up to them. There we go. That's better. And I should just honestly probably punch my way through most of this and not worry so much about the combo until we need to be dealing heavier amounts of damage. Nice. Okay, glad we did our due diligence to search around. We do this so often, and so often there's nothing, that sometimes you lose hope a little bit. Okay, bunch of shielded numbskulls. Oh, my dash knocks things away. That's why it's so chaotic. Right. That makes sense now. We really not fought too many things. I guess we were mostly fighting armored foes, so they weren't getting knocked away. And then it all changed when we finally broke through. But okay, what kind of upgrades can we see? Attack has the increased base damage for each consecutive hit. I do really like this one. I mean, we potentially should take Colossus Knuckle. It's good to have a little bit of defensiveness, but I'm trying to go for just max damage, which I'm kind of interested in. You know, we're not doing the Lamb and Plume Zagreus aspect of the fists anymore, but in some ways I always like to kind of lean into our aspect theme, so I like it, I think.
Something I need.
Probably shouldn't spend any money, actually. Dang, here's a shop. Pomegranate's not great, and we have a lot of rerolls. In fact, that's incredible. I mean, we're getting a lot of Poseidon boons. I don't actually want your attack or call anymore, really. Ooh. Rupture foes with our dash and our cast. I do actually like that. Hydraulic Might is interesting, but less useful in the long term for specifically for the harder boss fights that we're most worried about. So, you know, I think I will go with Razor Shoals. Get some damage over time. Even though I guess, yeah, it helps in the long run, but the Fury fight is pretty much the one fight where we attempt, or fully attempt, to just burst down and not worry too much about
Hello, Fury sisters.
extending the fight.
How many times is it going to take, Redblood? How many? Tell me, how can you stand running into me like this over and over?
Honestly,
Well, habits can be hard to break. As for how many times, I've really no idea. Though I guess there's one way to find out.
I was just thinking that I'm not actually happy to run into Electo at all, and I don't know how we've lasted this long, because she's definitely the hardest Fury sister, for me at least.
I like it when my prey bites back. Come on, let's see some blood again.
Okay, here goes nothing. I mean, that is a nice amount of damage, and then ouch. Oh gosh, let's get out of those traps. Taking a bunch of really bad damage now. That's fun. Alright, we have the consecutive hits too. That's definitely playing a huge role. Ouch, why am I stepping in spike traps so much? It's the bane of my existence in this run at the moment. Oh gosh. Oh my gosh, she's magnetized. Oh gosh. Fitting that a spike trap finishes me here. Oh, such bad damage, and so close to the end. I kept trying to get a little bit too fancy with trying to pull up the combo, but we already had the special effect, so probably shouldn't have fooled around quite so much. Well, we definitely deserve that one, if simply because, yeah, 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 instances of standing on spike traps and letting them hit us. Not our best record. We can still definitely pull through this one. I think we will switch this out because I don't want to see Poseidon quite so often. Oh yeah, and 6 companion slots. I meant to confirm that earlier. But, who do we want to see? So I was thinking Demeter, Athena, or yeah, Aphrodite for the attack boon is what I was interested in. Athena's probably the safe bet. But Demeter is really nice for burst damage because slowing down the enemy's attacks gives us a few more hits, and that can make all the difference when we're dealing a lot of damage. Oh yeah, and we're trying to deal consecutive hits. Oh, I guess both are good. Hey, deflecting enemies' attacks or slowing them down. Deflecting them is probably slightly better, but this, I think Demeter's attack moves have slightly more damage. Well, let's try it out. I really like a lot of her boons, especially since getting the, dang it, we just had it last time, but the burst of chill when we use our cast is really useful for such a short range cast, so it could be kind of cool. I almost walked through that, but right, this is where we end these episodes, so it's a decent start so far besides the one Death Defiance lost, but it's nice to be experimenting a little bit with the different keepsakes, and I think we can definitely lean into trying to get this aspect to really pop off. We already have an okay level cast. I didn't even notice when we got the nectar that it did actually hit Bloodshot, which is exactly what we asked for, so that's pretty awesome. But yeah, all we're missing is a nice attack boon. We should be ready to pull this off. I should have used my companion in that fight. That would have been a good idea. Oh well. One day we'll remember to throw this in when appropriate. But hopefully, I guess in the next one, we'll see when we get there, and hopefully our luck continues a little bit, or gets a bit better, I guess I should say, as we move on up to Asphodel in the next one. I'll see you there. See you soon.